Excuse me. Alex here, back in my basement. I wanted to show off my latest commission. It was kind of fun because I got to do these at the same time for the same client, and he picked all the right parts. So we'll start off with the hero. So this hero is a Dave Parkins. I just cleaned it up, so I really don't want to put fingerprints all over it, even with the black gloves, because I'm just about to box it up for him, but I don't want any smudges on it. This is a Dave Parkins hero. I forgot what generation this is. This might be a second generation one that he did. He had me do the Ace Gold Wind Vane and the satin black for the rings. This was by far the hardest paint job I've ever experienced. This summer was very late up here in New England. And then in 1 week, boom, we got hit with 90-degree weather, humidity through the roof, and I actually showed him picture after picture of the failed attempts of the black. Finally, one day it was nice and cool in the 70s, and we got it to stick. So it took me longer than what I expected. I actually finished the V2 before I finished the Hero, which is rare. Anyway, if you can tell, he wanted something a little bit different. He didn't opt to paint the rails. He wanted the shiny brass finish. So I polished up the rails with a buffing wheel, so they're polished. And we have a vintage finish board from Brian Rogers. I've made a video of his boards before. I think they're the best. It's also got the blue finish on the end, accurate to the real prop. And then inside, everywhere I'm touching is covered in dust because I just polished it up. It's killing me. Inside is Dave's circuit board, which is a piece of work, or should I say it's a piece of art. Like so. I'm getting dust everywhere from this thing. I should have blown it off. Put the clamp card in there. The client opted for, and I don't want to touch it because it will get rust everywhere, but a rusty tri-ring from Dave. So it's steel and then chemically aged straight from Dave. And I put my centering plug in there so it won't get out centered. And if you do it right, she'll stay erect for you. There we go. I've said this before. I've actually got a video of me unboxing a Dave Parkins hero that I did a while ago, a real long time ago. But it was right after I had my head injury and I thought I was good enough to film, and I have the lights blaring on everything and my sunglasses on. So it's a really poor video. But I just bumped into it the other day while looking for something. So I might release that video showing my first impressions of the kit. It's an amazing kit. It's very, very heavy. It's a very heavy, very beefy kit. But one thing I left out is Dave supplies, it looks like stainless steel screws for everything. And I change it over to black screws. So the set screw here and the nipple is black. And then the screws that hold the control box down, he uses a regular flathead screwdriver screw. I opt for Allen wrenches, so I put some 4mm shallow black socket cap screws in there to hold it down. And his tiny little screws here on the arrow plate I've clocked in at the right orientation with a dab of E6000. I always thought you were supposed to screw those in, but come to find out they're not. They're made to be glued in there. So I clock them in at the right orientation, glue them in. And then so Dave insists he sees a hole here. I don't. I'm not in that camp. But there's a hole there, so I filled that with plumber's putty and polished it up. Yeah, this was a really fun kit to put together after I got the paint on there. The paint was a nightmare. But like I said, I keep touching it, and now I'm seeing even more and more spots, and this is going to drive me nuts. I just cleaned it to box it up. But so I hope he's happy with it. This was a lot of fun because it was different. You know, he wanted the brass rails, and I personally like the brass rails the best on the Hero. That's just my taste. But again, you can see that that card that's art to me. Dave did a phenomenal job with that card. Absolutely incredible. Really, 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 really like it. And again, I regret not grabbing this when I had the chance. So that was the Hero, which surprisingly gave me more of a hard time than the V2. The V2 now, we all know how I feel about the V2, right? But the V2, this is totally blinged out. So he's got a Pro Mod edition. He's got the Starkiller emitter, the Starkiller pommel on a Solo's Hold body. So we remachined the rings and the wind vane, added some machine marks here and there, acid aged the whole thing, re-stenciled it, like all my other commissions. Got the full Monty, full treatment. This time around he opted for Trooper Trent's gaffer's tape adapter, which I believe every V2 should have. And it's got the silver shaft in there, so this sucker is heavy. And we got the spinning drive shaft. But oh, he's got a vintage clamp and a vintage locking block, and he was so obsessed with using that vintage locking block, we went through 3 levers because we just didn't have any luck with Solo's Hold levers locking on this locking block. So he ended up with a Wanawanga lever, which worked. We got Sloth's vintage card. Again, like I said, there's vintage clamp. A vintage D-ring from Michael, which is from the 70s, and Michael does an amazing, amazing job getting this into the accurate shape. I mean, amazing job. He doesn't give himself enough credit for that. But he gets it the perfect acorn shape. I love it. It's got a centering, 3D printed centering plug in there. Listen to it rattle. I love that. He's got a vintage mystery chunk on there that I've chemically aged and weathered and installed. Fishing line on the pommel, and a vintage cone knob. Woo! But I just wanted to do a little video showing his stuff off. Got dust in the rings. Just another Pro Mod edition. Check out the dents. The stencils underneath. Trooper Trent's color combination on the neck. This clamp is in perfect shape for a V2. So I just wanted to show these 2 girls off before I box them up for them. And I want to thank him for him reaching out to having me do this. And I never passed down a V2, but this Dave Parkins hilt, and again, I screwed up and I have a video already made about his Yuma that I still haven't released. It's already uploaded to YouTube, I just haven't released these yet. The next couple videos I'll release will be Dave's stuff. I really, really am impressed with Dave's product. The machining is beautiful, the kit's beautiful. Just no more holes, Dave. Come on, no more holes in the emitter, no more. I'm only messing with you. But again, I just wanted to show these 2 girls off. The client picked out all the right parts for this, and it's not too often that I get to show off a bling factor like this, so I wanted to do a little video showing it off. And now I'm going to go over to the bench and box them up and ship them out tomorrow for them. I want to thank you all for watching. Keep an eye out for the next video. It's most likely going to be that giveaway, so make sure you hit like and subscribe so you know how to enter when that video goes live. Thanks for watching. This is Halowax.